Been busy the last couple of weeks or so reorganising my music collection. I put all my cassette tapes away as I've made room for that space for CDs, and reorganised my record collection. And basically all what I have on display now is music which I don't have digitally, namely on CD. There's a few box hits here. Beatles box set. The Concept for Bangladesh. Don't have this on CD. It's quite expensive apparently. Some Alan Parsons projects. A lot of this I don't have on disc, apart from vinyl. So everything only on vinyl, which I have. Tom Petty, John Lennon, Human League. This box set, very cool. Human League, a very British synthesizer group. Many Beach Boys LPs here, compilations which I've got out. Surfing Safari, Holland. Moving on, just picking out a few here. Buddy Holly, a lot of Buddy Holly here. A few Beatles. Bruce Hornsby and the Range. Black Sabbath, greatest hits. Blue Oyster Cult. Baby Driver soundtrack. Good movie, good soundtrack. This Blondie. So yeah, bit of bread there. A few down here. Cars. Church. Dave Brubeck. Mike Campbell's group, the Dirty Knobs. The best of Dave Brubeck, so quite a lot of jazz. Elvis Costello. The rare Sinatra. There's a lot of Sinatra here. I do like collecting Frank Sinatra. Greatest hits, the early years. Only the Lonely. Frank Sinatra, the movie songs. What else do we have? George Shearing. That's a nice pressing, that one actually. Helen Jarboe. Bit of a unknown singer. Jimmy Witherspoon. Singing the Blues. Quite a few Jimmy Witherspoon here. This Lionel Richie. Madness, One Step Beyond. Oscar Peterson, Mellow Mood. This is my second unit, so yeah, basically down to like half my collection now really on display. And so onto the P's, Paul McCartney, bit of Pat Boone there, Rolling Stones, Let It Bleed, the Righteous Brothers, Randy Newman, Land of the Dreams, Ringo Starr. Onto the S's, Suede, best of Suede, 92 to 2018. Shalimar. The Strawbs, a few Strawbs. Slade, Status Quo, quite a lot of status quo. Or status quo in the army now. Sutherland Brothers and Oliver. This Supertramp, Crime of the Century. Onto the T's, the Three, the Tremblers, T-Rex. So it's quite a mixed bag, really. Thompson Twins, Power in the Dark, Texas, Southside. This Tom Petty official live leg. Live greatest hits, Tom Petty picture disc. There's a few Tom Pettys, not many. Ultravox, a bit classical. And this, the Zombies. The Yes album, this is a recent pickup. The Who, My Generation. Wings album. So yeah, all sorts really. This U2 album. And on to my CDs. So yeah, sort of regarding one of my questions I made quite recently about American and British music, comparing the two, I decided to split my CD collection up separately with British artists separately in my shelves, and American artists in a separate shelf. So, and when I did that, I thought it flowed a lot better. As before, when I had basically everything in there, which was alphabetical, it kind of was a bit kind of all over the place, you know, one extreme to the other. And then doing it this way, it just seems, the music seems to flow a lot better. As you can see, it is quite mixed, but it's not as bad as it was. Alison Moyet there, Ash, Andy Deck, so all A's, all Saints. Then like the biggest collection I have first, so onto the B's, it's the Beatles. All the Beatles are here, all the albums, loads of Beatles. Blurs, Brian Ferry, Boyzone, and it goes on and on. Cliff Richard, Cast. So yeah, Dire Straits, quite a few of these. David Gray there. So yeah, I think it worked out rather well. But each year, everyone has their own way of doing things, own way of organising. I just thought this looked really quite good actually once it was all done. It just knowingly all my British music is here, so I can just, if it's British, I can come here, I can find it. I did, however, start to run out of space, so I had to take out some of the higher end letters rather, sort of like the Z's, Y's, and all the way to the T's. I had to take out because there just wasn't enough room to fit everything in, which I kind of combined into my other CD case. So onto the R's here, we've got Razor Light, Ringo Starr, and the S is a hell of a lot of S. So yeah, sorry, it's here, isn't it? It's Stereophonics, loads of Stereophonics. I mean, it's Simply Red, load of Simply Red, Stone Roses, Spice Girls, Suede, Snow Patrol, Supergrass. So a lot of these bands I have like 2 or 3 of their albums or compilations. So it's quite a lot of everything. Some doubles, As you can see, it's all mixed, all up to the S. And so yeah, anything after S, I put in a box. I haven't got everything on display, so that if it's after S, I put it away. If I have a lot of a particular artist, it will go into my other my other shelf unit, which I'm about to show you now. Yeah, this is my other unit. It is American, Canadian, European, and there is a few British artists in here towards the end, but straight away into the A's. Lots of AC/DC, so mostly, not all of them, but one letter, if it's an A or a B or whatever, it's usually just the one cubicle. So that's all A, and then we're on to B, which just has a few cubicles, because B tends to be quite popular with great bands. So they got the Beach Boys here, load of Beach Boys. Bob Dylan, Billy Joel, Bon Jovi, Onto the Seas, Carpenters, Carly Simon. That's just the one here. This is a one. D's, Dream, Del Shannon, Dandy Warhols. Onto the E's, Fitzgerald, Eminem. This is what I don't quite like, the difference between the two. This, Ella Fitzgerald to Eminem, it's so extreme, it's ridiculous, but it is what it is. E, Evanescence. F, Frank Sinatra, loads of Frank Sinatra here. More albums. Fleetwood Mac. Foo Fighters. G, Green Day, load of Green Day. A load of singles of Green Day. Then we've got Guns N' Roses. Onto the H. H seems to suffer a bit. I don't have a lot. Huey Lewis and the News, Hadaway, H-Town, and a few others. Not many. I is probably one of the worst. Not many I's, just those few. Which leaks into the J's. John Denver's Journey, Jimmy East World. Here's where I had a few problems, because this little cubicle is a lot smaller than the others. So there's less of albums I can only put into here. So that's okay. Can't Even Know Can Kiss. Louis Armstrong. Michael Jackson. A whole load of Michael Jackson here. All the way to here to Mariah Carey. Meatloaf, loads of Meatloaf. Then we've got N, Nat King Cole, Neil Young. Would like a few more Neil Youngs, but haven't come across many of them recently. Oscar Peterson, Offspring, Of Mice and Men, P, Pat Boone, loads of Pat Boone, Paul Simon, bit of Q in there, R, Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's all I have for R's. I got so many albums with R artists on them. It's ridiculous, but I can only fit that in. That's the most I had on that particular artist. Simon and Garfunkel, Semisonic, Tom Petty. This is the only T I have in here, I think. Oh no, Traveling Wilburys as well. But yeah, generally that's it. There's so many Tom Petty CDs I have, it's ridiculous. So yeah, there's 3 cubicles of Tom Petty and Traveling Wilburys. U2, 1 cubicle for U2, loads of U2 albums, spills on to the next one. There's a bit of Usher in there, Ultravox. So here's where you get like some of the British bands. They start to spill into this shelving unit, which has been unfortunate, but it is what it is. Velvet Revolver, The Verve, Who, loads of Who, Whitney, and my X, Y, and Z in this one. XTC, Jellyfish, Yes, and the Zootons, and yeah, ZZ Top's in there as well. So you don't tend to get many artists in the Zs in this this particular bit here right at the end. So yeah, anyway, that is it. That is everything. That's how I've done it anyway. It seems to be working for me. Everything else is in boxes. So yeah, there you go. Look at all that. Look. So yeah, you soon start to accumulate, don't you, after a while? And yeah, how do you manage yours? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, bye for now.